Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For this tutorial, I'll be doing a full inspired makeup look. I hope you enjoy this video. I loved creating this look because I was so inspired by the liquid lipstick that I'm wearing at the moment, as you can see. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and if you want to see how I got this makeup look, please keep watching. So to start off, I am going to be taking Peach Smoothie as per usual from Makeup Geek and using that as my transition color. This is going to be a very warm look, so this is the perfect shade to use as a transition shade, but I do use this for pretty much every look that I do ever, so I'm not going to be like saying, oh, it's just for warm looks. This color is for every look, but yeah, I'm just using that with my Sigma E40 and just applying that right above my crease and blending upwards as I have less product on the brush. Then I'm taking Mousse from the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced and applying that right over Peach Smoothie just to give it a little bit more depth. You don't really need to go in with this step because it doesn't really show off that much, but I just wanted to make it a little bit darker in that area. Then taking another one of my favorite shades, this is Peanut Butter from that same palette, and I'm applying that with my Sigma E25. It's like this beautiful orangey red color. It's not like Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, it's a little less brown, it's more of the orangey side, but it is beautiful. A little bit of it just does a whole lot of wonders. This color screams fall, so I knew I needed to use this shade in my look. I wanted to not use Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, but I do later go in with Cocoa Bear. You don't really have to, you can just stay with this one shade if you don't want it to be too brown and you want to keep it on more of a lighter, like a lighter eye, but this color is gorgeous and I'm just going back in and blending it out so there are no sharp edges because you don't want that. So yeah, just make sure you do the windscreen wiper motions until it buffs out into a nada. If you are not a fan of orange tone shadows, just go in and swap it over for a warmer brown and it will give you the same effect, just obviously not as orange because orange isn't everyone's thing and I completely get that, but I am in love with warm shadows, so that's why I went in with this shade. And now for the struggles of winged liner. Okay, so I am using the Maybeline Blackest Black Gel Liner and my Anastasia Beverly Hills dip brow brush, and I'm trying to do a wing. I don't know what it is. It might just be my eye shape, but I'm a perfectionist when it comes to wing liner, so I want it to be like perfectly straight and pointed and everything needs to be correct. So half of it might be my fault that I never get it like correct. I actually do get it really good sometimes when I'm not filming, but of course when I film it just doesn't work. But I did get a semi-sweet I did get a semi-okay winged liner the first time around and I just had to go in and of course tweak it and try and fix it, but it's just the struggle is real. Me and winged liner we're just not the best of friends in any way, shape or form. So I'm not one to teach you how to do winged liner because I myself have not mastered how to do winged liner, so just watch me attempt to do this black line on my eye. And then, as I said, I wanted to try and not use Cocoa Bear in this tutorial because I feel like I always use it, but I had to. Like, it was just missing something for me. It needed a little bit of Cocoa Bear in its life, so just went in and popped it in right in my crease just to give it a little bit more depth and make my crease look a bit more defined. I did go in and apply false lashes off camera. I am wearing the Cara lashes in the style number 43. Now I am applying my foundation and I have found a new way to do this which I am completely in love with. As you can see, I'm going in and applying the foundation with this buffing brush, and then I take this beauty blender it's pretty much dry. It's not damp like at all. You don't want it to be rock solid. You do want it to be, squishy, but it is dry. It's not wet. And then I take the dry-ish beauty blender and dab it over the foundation that I have applied with this brush. What it does is it pretty much makes it matte, number one, and then it takes away any excess foundation and it just really sets it into your skin. I am in love with doing my foundation this way now. It's just a really good way to make it look as natural as possible, and it doesn't look too cakey because it removes all the excess. Then for concealer, I am applying the LA Girl concealer in the shade, I don't know the shade off the top of my head, but I will list it down below. And now I am blending it out with my Morphe G2 brush, which is my favorite brush for blending out concealer. It keeps the coverage whilst blending it out so it looks flawless. So yes, I'm just taking the excess amount of concealer that I have from under my eye and applying that onto my chin and my forehead because I overdosed on the concealer. So to set my concealer, I am using the yellow shade from the Marc Jacobs Insta Filter palette. I think it's the Mirage one. It's called the Mirage palette. The brush that I usually use to do this is Wet because silly me, just cleaned my brushes before filming. So I'm using the Morphe M501, which I usually use to highlight to set the concealer. For bronzer, I wanted to use my Too Faced little book of bronzers, and I'm using the shade Beach Bunny. I wanted a really warm shade for this look because this is a warm look in general, and this is just a really pretty shade, and I am using my Morphe Duo Fiber M404 brush, and I love this brush to apply bronzer with because it blends it out but still keeps it really precise so you don't have bronzer all over your face. So thumbs up to this brush. I am in love. I did go in and apply that onto the top of my forehead. I always apply bronzer there. It just really warms up the face, and I am of course applying it onto my cheeks, just below the cheekbones, kind of using this to contour at the same time because I didn't want to go in with contour. As I said, I wanted to keep this look very warm. So while I keep blending away, is anyone else obsessed with the show Scream Queens? Like anyone? I cannot handle that show. It's my life. I am addicted and a half. I need to know who the Red Devil is because not knowing is killing my soul. I can't. But more importantly, back to makeup. For blush, I am taking Romance from Makeup Geek. This is a really pretty peachy shade, and I'm just applying that onto the apples of my cheeks and blending up to make my face look very lifted. And I'm using the Makeup Geek rounded blush brush to do that. Then for highlight, I took Lunch Money from Colourpop, and I'm using my Morphe G2 brush to apply it. You need to use a synthetic brush for this product, and it just works better with it because it's more of like a moussey wet texture. It's not a powder, so this is the brush for it. And this highlight is it's so pretty, very gold, and just I love it. Then for highlight, I don't remember the name of this shade from the palette, but I will list it down below. But I'm just taking it and applying it onto my brow bone to highlight that area. And then I don't know why I use this mascara, but I am doing my lower lashes. It was just a massive one and it was just not working, but you know, I made it work. And then I took a little bit of Cocoa Bear on my E25 and just wanted to give it a little bit of color there, nothing too smoky, but just warm up the eye a little bit more. And as you can see, it did its job. And now finally for lips, I am using the Tulle Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick by Colourpop. And this is definitely one of my favorite shades they did. I own about 7 of their shades, and I just purchased more. So I'm excited to get them in my life. But this shade is beautiful. I feel like the camera is actually making it look much more red than it really is. In person, this is a very like plummy, a plummy, reddy brown shade is the best way I could describe it. It's definitely not as red as the camera is showing, but I'm in love with it. It's the perfect fall shade in my opinion. And you want to be really careful when you apply liquid lipstick, especially this one, because it dries super quickly. So as you can see, I am pretty much using my lips as like a coloring book. I outline them and then I go in and fill them in. And then you want to make sure when you use liquid lipstick to go in like onto the inner part of your lip and put the lipstick there, and that way you won't be able to see the contrast between the lipstick and your lip. So as you can see, I'm going in and filling it in, so you won't be able to see any like gum in the way. Just some beautiful liquid lipstick. And then I obviously go in and fill in the rest of my lip, and voila, this is the completed look. I love the way it turned out. It's so easy to recreate, so simple. The focus is really on that liquid lipstick, the dramatic lip, whether it's this color that you use or a different one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.